Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't talk yarn without me having my favorite mug of tea, and today that is a black tea with a flavor of forest fruit. I've been busy. You may have noticed due to the lack of content on the channel. I've basically been out on a bit of a trip, doing things that is not that much related to crochet. So a little vacation kind of was needed, even though it ended up being sort of a workcation. But yeah, I'm back. And I did reach to crochet a little bit in the time that I was away. Not a lot, but a bit. As you can see, I have a finished item. I actually quite like this one. It is the Gabby Bucket hat designed by a DeniMade. And I optioned to do the striping of the different colors. In hindsight, I might have thought that they were a bit closer to one another. At the same time, I do like how the end result here has turned out. And I kind of wish I had this bucket hat when I traveled to New Zealand 2 years ago. But yeah, now I can easily make one or even keep this one for if I do that once in the future. I have a few other ideas for color combinations and so on. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. But right now I'm just actually pretty happy that I finished it, and I did finish that when I was away. So I only weaved in the ends when I got home, and here's kind of the end result. What is I used the Lindehobby 8/8 cotton yarns for this. It was a wonderful yarn to work with. I did though have to find a different crochet hook size to sort of semi-meet the gauge. Either I had to hook up basically. So my tension's a bit tight. It is mainly made in half double crochets. So it's a bunch of half double crochets on top. The pattern here is 3 stitches into one. So it's a single crochet, half double and a double. Then you skip a stitch and you do the same basically all across. Then you continue on doing half doubles, and the last bit is a row of single and then a row of slip stitches to help make this absolutely gorgeous edge. I'm pretty stoked with the end result. It is, I think, slightly bigger than what I had expected it to be, but I'm not unhappy. Though I would have to say, if there is coming to be a wind, I might want to hold on to it because it is a little bit of a looser fit. But that's cool. I definitely learned something, and I'm super happy with how this turned out. Yeah, this is the top section of it, and yeah, that is how it looks on the go. So super happy I finished an object. Hallelujah. I had hoped to maybe finish 2, but I didn't reach that. The other one we will talk about in a bit. But yeah, I finished an object. So I do have a hat for the future, unless I decide on maybe selling it. There are many ideas and plans for the future, which definitely also will be talked about in upcoming videos. Everything kind of depends on what's going on, because as you know, I am currently unemployed. I do have small projects for my own company, but that's far enough from being sustainable. And once my employment benefits runs out, if I haven't found a job by then, I will have to see if I can figure out other ways to generate some revenue, basically. Bills still want to get paid. And related to that, might be some crocheting and selling some of my makes, which is something I've considered regardless, because I can't keep them all. So I am wondering a little bit about a future web shop, but it's not something that I can actually launch at the current moment, because according to the government that pays my unemployment benefits, is that I can't work more than X amount of hours a week, and next to still receiving these benefits, because then I'm not available to work full time for a new job and blah blah blah. I understand the rules, and I just don't want to get caught in them. So everything is kind of like postponed a bit And it is something you will hear more about when we get to the month of February. Yes, so I did work on the Fleur Mosaic blanket since last time. I've not worked a lot on it because, yeah, I've been absent. But I did reach to work a little bit. And then, of course, I worked and then I realized I'd made a mistake and I had to frog back and stuff like that. So I finished a round and a quarter, which leaves me at, or did I finish 2? I think I might have finished 2 actually. I finished 2 rows, yes. I finished, so I'm now at row 71. And I'm working on 71. So I didn't finish 71. I finished until I'm with row 70. And I am currently working on 71. And now I have yarns all over the floor. Just one moment. Because I'm trying to not lose all my yarn, obviously. Which I still managed to do. So here we go, me. I need a bit longer strands. The top part, this includes row 71. And this would be row 70. So you can kind of see the start of row 71 goes here. And that is where we are heading towards. It's still working up absolutely gorgeously. We are starting on some new pattern pieces. So this is the Fuchsia Purple, the pinkish, it's a Fuchsia Purple. It will be this one. I cake them up because it makes it easier for me to work with them. And then I have the cream white, which is the base color going through all the way. This I will have to soon change for a new, simply because obviously it's about to run out. The negative panel or the negative side of it, you have here, let's see, this is actually the fully negative. That's currently looking. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. It's getting big and unpractical to work with basically due to the sizes. I use the full kitchen table when I'm working, well, kitchen table, diner table, when I'm working on it, just to kind of help me keep track of it. And it's progressing, but it does take time. It's almost a year ago since I started on this, and a part of it also has to do with me working on so many projects at a time. I can't only devote to this, which I could, but eventually, like, it's not practical because I can't take it with me in the car. It's not something I can watch a series with because I will get distracted doing the things. Well, I can watch a series once I get going, but not something I can be social with doing. Because yeah, it's not a good match with me on the couch on this project, which is okay. The final goal obviously is row 129, which is where the pattern is finishing. The Fuchsia Purple I'm working on until I'm with row 79 is going to be the last row. And in row 81, we will change the Fuchsia Purple into the Plum. And the yarns I am using with this is the Stylecraft Special DK. This is the Plum color, which is the colorway 1061, but it's just named Plum. It is 100% premium acrylic yarn using a 4mm crochet hook, just following the pattern. The color scheme suggestion is made by the designer, and I bought it as a yarn pack from yarnplaza.com, which is the same as, oh Jesus, or it's called Yarn Plaza in Dutch, I'm unsure right now, but I bought it from them. It is a wonderful, wonderful little store that has lots of different options. I do believe it's called Yarn Plaza in Dutch, actually, Yarnplaza.nl. No, yarnplaza.com, and it's volplein.nl if you want to buy it from the Dutch web store. In euros, they do ship worldwide, and you can buy it with the pattern or excluding the pattern. The pattern I've linked to in the description box down below, where you can find the pattern on Ravelry. It is a pattern by Anke Wintermans. She makes lots of gorgeous mosaic design patterns. One thing is for sure, I will never be the biggest blanket maker, but making one in a while, one blanket in a while it's kind of nice because like I'm not a blanket maker, but I don't mind having a project that's a bit bigger, that takes a while. I knew when I started on this, it was going to be a multiple year project. I do expect to be done sometime next year though, if life accommodates for it. So I have the next two ready to go, which I will put in my box. It doesn't fit into the project crate anymore, too bad. And I am still keeping the leftovers from the other colors, actually. And I'm intentionally doing that because I'm thinking I want to make a scrap project of this, because the color match is not bad at all, right? Like, they work. They work. And obviously we also have this one coming to join soon. So the scheme works. So I do want to make some sort of small project from it somehow towards the end. Right now I don't know what, but so far I'll just, you know, keep all the scraps together so I kind of keep track of them. That is the thought. A long time ago I started on the Firefly Sweater. Actually, that was back in the spring, where I was working with the soft sensation yarns, and I do have that all backed up in a little project bag. Actually, it is from Pletta or Stanley, but the yarns are not from there. It's just I happened to get the bag, which was an absolutely awesome gift. The soft sensation yarns is what I'm using for the Firefly Sweater. I haven't blocked it yet because so many things came up before leaving that I just didn't manage. But we have front and back panels here. I need it blocked and I need to sew it together to see how we progress with the next steps. I sort of pre-started something like a chain, which is very difficult to see. I might have to redo that, but the idea is I need to make sleeves. But before I can make sleeves, ideally I need to block this. So this is one of my Christmas projects, I think, because the thing is, next week is Christmas. Hi, hallelujah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, wished in advance already. But next week is Christmas. We are celebrating Christmas on Christmas Eve, because that is what we do in Denmark, and I bring the Danish tradition with me here to the Netherlands. My partner and his family is not very Christmas traditional people. They might go out for dinner or something like that, but they are not celebrating Christmas in the same fashion like my family would do in Denmark. So I brought the tradition here. We'll have some great food on Tuesday, which is 24th. And enjoy that. Unwrap some presents from the Christmas tree and have a good time. Then we will, the following day, we'll go to my in-laws for some good food there, just having a good time, probably playing some board games. And then the thing is, on Friday, my partner is off work, so he actually took the he took the day of work because then he could get like a prolonged weekend-ish, and that basically means I'm probably gonna spend a bunch of time with my partner, and I won't have that much time to actually do much recordings, which means that the next yarn talk video first will be up in the new year. Because on the 28th, there will be no yarn talk video. I will have another sort of mini break / vacation. That does give me time to maybe work on some of these things. And my idea right now is to basically see if I can get that blocked and look at working at this, because some of the other projects I am currently working on will definitely likely be finished during this period. And I do have here the back panel of that sweater, and I have a front panel as well. obviously. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold them together just as if they were being sewn together, and I will pin those down on the blocking mats so that it all gets pinned to and blocked to the same size. It should be the same size based on my work, but you never know. And then once this is blocked, and it's going to be, theoretically it can be oversized, but I do feel that right now I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I will see. I'm going with the flow. I'll pin it together and have it blocked and laid and stretch it for a bit. And then once that's happened for a day or two, I'm going to take out the pins and basically sew the sides together so I have an idea of how much space I need for those sleeves, so I can start prepare making the sleeves, because I'm just missing 2 sleeves and this could be complete, right? And I am wondering if I do have enough yarn left, I could maybe make a border, because right now it's just like this classic normal border and not like a clear defined one. So I might make a border, but I'm not really sure. The border is not in the original pattern though. But I just wanted to take forward this, because for those that was following my morning tees back this summer, we worked on this quite a bit together. That was like a couple of rows every Wednesday morning, and that was kind of my progress on this sweater. And now it is slowly getting time to actually find it forward again, because I do actually kind of desperately, is a bit extremely set, but I do want to finish it, because then I can kind of wrap that up. It is extremely nice and soft, and I like how this is working up, because what I am doing is I am holding those 2 yarns together, and holding those 2 soft sensation yarns together creates this absolutely gorgeous yarn, and it's ever so soft. So it is gonna be like a really soft sweater, and it is sweater time. So it would be pretty cool if I somehow can manage to get that finished here in January, and if it fits, that would be even more awesome. And if it doesn't, well, I will find a new happy owner somewhere for it. But let's start by finishing it up. So that is kind of my Christmas project, to get it blocked. And we'll see how far I am once that has been done. But yeah, so, and that's 4.5mm crochet hook I'm using for this. But as said, the goal is to block it and get it blocked for, blocked and maybe started on those sleeves. That is the plan right now. This tea is really still quite warm. Then I've been working on, I need to keep track of my projects. I've been working on the Spearmint Poncho. Not done a lot, but I've done some. And I need to prepare change yarn, because I don't have that much left on the skein. And I'm not really sure why I prepared to increase again, because the last thing I did when I was working on those increases was actually to realize that I am at the total amount of stitches required for this size. I do maybe want to consider re-looking at it, but this is where we are. And what I should be needing to do is to only keep working and is repeating the pattern. So two double crochets in each chain space, then that's all the way around. And then the following round is basically double crochet, chain one, skip one, double crochet, chain one, skip one, etc. That's a really simple, straightforward pattern. I am working in the Muskat yarns from Drops, which is 100% mercerized merino. I'm just grabbing one of them here for you. Here you have it, Drops Muskat. It is 1.8 ounces for these small skeins, which is 100 meters or 109 yards. 50 grams for those that's using weight UK English terms. English metrics. 100% mercerized cotton, colorway mint, which I found really fitting because it's called Spearmint. And as I said, I'm not really sure why I actually inserted these stitch markers for increases, because I'm actually not supposed to increase. That said, what I did notice is that this is actually feeling slightly ever so slimmer than it should be. Or I have broader shoulders, very, very possible. What I am going to do for you guys, I am just gonna shortly pause this video, take off my vest here, so I can easily fit this one, because last time I tried fitting it, it was a little bit tight on this vest. And I do have a thinner basic shirt underneath. So that is what I'm going to do. I am going to take off the coat quickly. And then I'll be back with you and we will fit this one together. Here we go. So yeah, let's see if I can actually fit this without ruining it fully. But yeah, that is kind of the basic idea here. And I'm personally actually wondering, and this could be due to my tension, but I am actually sitting here wondering if I should consider doing a few more rows of increases, because there is not much space. And the thing is, I had noticed when I started working on this that it would likely be on the slim side for me. Because I do have broader shoulders and I do have some chest. It is working. It is working, but it is a little bit, it's a little bit snock. It's a little bit tight. So if you want to have a little bit more room for movement, it might actually make sense to either size it up, or I need to consider simply accepting that this is not gonna be something that's going to be the ideal fit for me, and then either sell the piece and buy some new yarns to redo a piece if I want one for me, or whatnot. I need to think on that. I need to actually see if I might have enough yarn, because I have 4 skeins left, and this is after 4 skeins. So this is 4 skeins also. So I need to check if what's possible and then work up a plan. But in any case, I'm quite sure this project will be finished before a next yarn talk video. Then I also started working on a new summer shopper bag when I was away, because it was a good project to bring with me. It is a project where I can or know the pattern reasonably out of my head without too much ado. And thus I started working on it. It is going to be a 2 colorway summer shopper bag this time around. And I am about to change into the cream white. So this might look a bit unstructured until you kind of get the gist of it. I started with this sand color down here. It's actually not cream white, it's beige. So this is sand. Then I did the whole bottom in sand. Then I did the first 4 rows of cross double crochets in sand. I did a row of cross double crochets in the beige. Then 3 rows in sand, 2 rows in beige, 2 rows in beige, 2 rows in sand, 3 rows in beige, 1 row in sand. So it's kind of opposite. And what I'm about to do now is to do 4 rows of the beige. And then from there on, I am going to work up the last bits to get the straps and everything in the bag. So you have the full summer shopper bag, fading from a darker color in the bottom, slowly stripe-wise into the beige, which I think is going to be so cool once it's done. So yeah, the next thing I have to do is basically to start working on this beige yarn. And I have 2 skeins, which is probably also what I'm gonna more or less be needing. I've done So I used 2 full sand and then a bit of this. This is not a full skein. This is the last 1.5 rows or something like that. And then of the last, this is the first, how many rows? 6 rows of cross double in the beige. And now I am gonna do 4 plus hangs, etc. So I should have enough yarn here. So I'm also expecting to have this one finished next time for next week, not next week's yarn talk video, but for the yarn talk video in the new year. In the new year, I'm also going to come out with some new year resolutions actually for me and my crocheting and for this channel. So yeah, there is going to be an extra video in the new year for those that's interested in that. But I am really enjoying how this is slowly working up. The idea from these were actually to probably sell some of them because I did make a fair amount of summer shopper bags and I have this idea that there are people that could definitely be interested in these gorgeous bags. And I think they are really, really nice. Also design-wise, absolutely gorgeous bags. And I have a few. I have 3 of them so far. I have the first edition, then I have the second edition where I improved on things, and then I used a different yarn, which is the red one, that red one, for the 3rd edition, and now this is the 4th edition, or 4th version I'm making. So I've made a fair few, can give them away as gifts, but I might also, as well as I said with other things, consider selling them. I do like projects where I know pattern out of my head, so I can actually do them on the go, because I am reasonably often in transportation. That's just how it is. Then the last project, because I did start on the CeylonTea Shawl, we had a poll in my very last live video as to what pattern I was going to do with the Lindehobby cake that I bought with the ombre cake. I have a Lindehobby soft cake to be exact, which is in the color ombre, which is a colorway 8, and it's named ombre. It is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, 250 grams, so 8.8 ounces to 1,000 meter or 1,093 yards. They recommended 2 to 3 millimeter crochet hook. I am personally using a 3.25, also known as a D hook, because as we talked about a bit earlier, I do have a slight tighter tension than most. Not much, just a little. And thus, I find that the 3.25, based on old experiences, works up really nice with this yarn. The poll resulted in that I should make this CeylonTea Shawl, so I started on that. We have the cake here. We are starting on the outer side from the gray, slowly heading towards the lighter gray and yellows, and we will end on this cream color. And not that it's a lot, and I do have an end I need to weave in, so please ignore that. But this is where we are after the first 12 rows. And what I do like about these designs is these use of the front post, back post doubles, because it gives this absolutely gorgeous texture when we're working it up. So this is where we are. Not much, just a little, but you know, anything goes, every tiny bit goes. Super, super happy. And this is definitely gonna be one of those projects that I will have plenty of time to work on during the Christmas days, for when I'm not sitting with the more simple straightaway projects. So that is one thing that is planned and ironed out. CeylonTea Shawl, and again, looking forward to see the result of this cake, how that is working up. Normally, I would either present new ideas for new projects, and I do have things I want to do, but I'm not sure if I can always present the yarn before I actually start on the projects, because sometimes then it feels limiting. I like to just start, even though I also like to have this line of planning. But again, it kind of depends on how much spare time I have over Christmas. I also need to do a few other things related to hopefully finding a job. But if I do have extra time, I have been debating on a way to spend some of my scrap yarns. We had, a while ago, I tried to make a headband out of a scrap because I was very opportunistic and thought, sure, I'll do that, until I halfway realized, okay, I'll have half a headband and not a full headband. Because I have this scrap yarn, which is almost, well, it's a bit less than half a cake. And the other half was used for a hat that I made a year and a half ago almost, I think. And I've been wondering ever since, how can I actually use up this yarn best? I've finally found, I think, the solution. This is the Papatia Joyful yarn, which is, which is 100 grams to 100 and 200 meters or something like that. 20% wool, 80% acrylic. But then Ceylon has this Julia yarn, which is 100 grams to 170 meters. So it's a little bit thicker, but it's also 20% acrylic. 20% wool and 80% acrylic. But when looking at these yarns held together, they are extremely compatible and look like each other. So I thought to combine them. Isn't that a great idea? And the color scheme will work because the darker ones of these is very close to this blue. So the plan is basically that I will make the main part in this. So I will be making a hat, crochet hat. I will do this in the main parts, and then somewhere in the middle, ta-ta, I'll stripe it in. And I might do that this Christmas during the vacation days. So I will do like a ribbing edge and probably maybe half doubles on the side or something like that, or maybe still continue doing on the ribbing, though I think the challenge is the color changes of these yarn is not very long. So this is about where it starts, but you have the medium blue, which goes to about here, and then it goes darker. So this would be the physical length of each color, basically. So it's not a lot, it's just a few stitches. So I want to somehow see if I can get that the best way out without ruining the thought idea behind the hat. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a hat of it. That is combined with these two yarns. I can finish up this scrap in my stash. Then I may have some left here. That is not as bad because I have started also just collecting scraps of this exact sort of yarn composition from some other hats I've made and so on. And I thought if I have enough scraps of that, eventually I'll just make a complete scrap project, just matching colors until it's kind of used up. Because that's a good way of using things, right? Unique as well, because it's like one of a kind, will never be remade. So that is my thoughts for how to use some of my scrap yarns. At least for now. That is my current ideas for the coming weeks. I am to record a few things as well, so you do have a little bit of content. What I'm currently planning, if everything goes well, is you're going to see a yarn haul on Monday. My Christmas present arrived. Very small yarn haul, but anything goes, a little bit goes, right? So it's a bit of a Christmassy mood on Monday. I'll probably pop around for a greeting, for a Christmas greeting as well. And I'll see if I manage to find something for you to watch for Friday, but I'm not promising anything. It depends because there are many things I need to do these days on top of everything else, right? Then Monday the 30th of December, I might come live. It will be the last of the year. Because yeah, Tuesdays, more things to do, etc. So I'm probably gonna pop on Monday afternoon. then we're heading into the new year, and there will be a New Year's resolution-ish or planning session for you guys. And then we're back with yarn talks, and we will see how January basically moves on. There are still many more things to do. And I had a plan of doing a bunch of stitch tutorials, which I just haven't gotten around yet. But there are plans. Anyhow, I think that's pretty much it. I am going to say a Merry Christmas in advance. It is Christmas days. I do hope I will reach to see you a couple of times, of course, before the new year heads in. If you don't pop around because you're busy and you wait by watching, then I'll just wish you some nice days ahead, and take care until I see you again. And yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But I will say that a couple of times in the couple next days, that's for sure. Bye.